everybody. Welcome to the Post Movie Podcast. I'm Steve Head.
I'm John Black.
And on this episode, we're going to talk about new Blu-ray and DVD releases. And we have a bunch of them here on the table. And, I just got this Dragon Ball Z from Funimation. Right? I just got like, within the past
There's a
2
lot to
weeks or
watch.
so.
There's a
And
lot to watch.
I was fucking digging it, you know. But I'm particularly taken by the fact that on this particular one, it's Dragon Ball Z level 1.1, so I guess it's the original 80s series.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a featurette. I don't know, maybe it's like a half hour, basically on the step-by-step reconstruction, and just like rebuilding the film from the original film prints to get this up to Blu-ray standard.
Yeah.
And that to me is fascinating. I mean, I can sit there and watch them in front of their fucking video consoles, individually removing specks of dirt, from film, and that's like interesting to me. So
it's like porn.
But so I only watched a few episodes of it. I'm looking forward to watching more of it, but I think you're more of the Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, it's classic anime. I mean, it's classic '80s anime too. It's got a different style than like Darker Than Black or anything
Which
like
I love.
that. It's more of an old school style, but it's still a great story, funny characters, and kind of the thing I like about Dragon Balls is they're I was just watching the another series of the Dragon Ball, and it's like at one moment they're doing a fart joke, and the next minute a puppy gets shot by a sniper and dies. It's all over the map. They're not predictable. Like if you're watching an episode of the Flintstones and they're running across and you see the same couch go past them like 6 times because they're cheap animation. The stories are pretty wild. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm still getting into it.
Yeah. And it looks beautiful too. I mean, they did a great job restoring it.
This featurette, so you get to see it. You get to go behind the scenes at the Funimation offices. You get to see what their day-to-day thing is.
Yeah.
They have a sense of humor about what they do.
Oh yeah,
which I like.
It's funny as you get more and more into anime, Funimation anime, you'll recognize the same voices in every anime.
Right. I haven't reached that point yet.
Yeah, they've got maybe I'd say a core of 10 people who do all the voices.
Huh.
And it's funny to see them. They'll play different characters in each series, but you can tell they've got very distinctive voices. So,
John, what you got?
I'm going to start out with something called House of the Damned.
I haven't heard of that.
It was shot in 1966. This is like a before cell phones movie. This is so low budget. Written and directed by Sean Weathers in Roxbury.
Really?
Set in Roxbury, filmed in Roxbury. It's a low budget horror movie. It's not a great movie, but it was shot in Roxbury, and it's fun. It's fun. It's about it's an African American family. Mom and daughter get mixed up. They think they're sisters. Aren't you sisters? No, I'm the mom because mom is actually a voodoo witch who stays young by killing her daughters on their 21st birthday. So it's just hilariously.
Where did this come from? I mean,
this got sent to me from the fine folks at MVD Entertainment who do a lot of music stuff, and they're the ones who sent me Thanks Killing. Clint at MVD is a great guy. He sends me the most amazing stuff. He just sent me a documentary about the New York Dolls, which is killing me. It's just
is that New York Doll or is it another one?
The New York no, it's another one. This is like old concert clips with some old interviews back when they were, before they became the New York Dolls, when they were just punks in Queens. Right. It's pretty cool. So, House of the Damned. Support your local filmmaker, Sean.
From 1966,
yeah,
Roxbury.
Sean Weathers.
Still, to me.
And when you watch this, you see the coming attractions of this guy, Sean Weathers, has been doing. He does mainly horror and thrillers, no budget, shot in and around Boston. They make it to DVD. I don't think
still
they'll ever.
Is he still around?
I think so. I think he's still cranking these things out. The upcoming releases I haven't. This is the kind of stuff I get sent from MVD. All right, so there's House of the Damned, Lust for Vengeance, Haunted Shang-Chi, which is a haunted hospital in Singapore, and then I haven't seen it yet, but I can't wait.
Okay.
My Stepdad's a Freaking Vampire. How could you not want to watch a movie that called that? So, anyway, that was my first pick. We'll go from there.
Cool. I just got this one from watched it last night. It's from the MGM Limited edition collection on DVD, one of their movies on demand. It's Robert Altman Presents Welcome to L.A., directed by Alan Rudolph, starring Keith Carradine, Sally Kellerman, Geraldine Chapman, and Harvey Keitel. Oh, and Sissy Spacek.
So it's not a Robert Altman movie.
No, it's not. It's not. Someone else directed it, but it's about these artists living in L.A. and how they connect with each other. And some of them are really fucking bad. You know, I can think. I imagine Harvey Keitel watching this today and thinking, "Holy shit! That performer that my agent, this agent girlfriend in the movie is talking about is like everybody thinks he's the best, but Sarah and I were watching last night, and this guy is like the worst." But it's a young Keith Carradine as a writer and Sally Kellerman as a photographer.
Read the back.
And,
read the blurb, the description on the back.
A self-important group of eccentrics from Los Angeles realize how worthless their lives are. And that's all it says on the back of the DVD.
That sum it up pretty well.
That's it.
There's no blurbs on there. No critic saying the most dramatic movie ever. It's just these people realize they're scum.
As we were watching it last night, it was getting late and the grocery store was going to close, and I was getting like, I gotta go down to the grocery store. I was getting exasperated, and Sarah thought that I was like I was being irked by the movie, which in fact I was totally riveted in this thing of these. Pretentious, self-important people living in 70s L.A. Not unlike a bunch of people that we know in Boston trying to make movies. It was just a totally different artist scene, you know?
Isn't the grocery store like less than 100 yards from where we're sitting?
Exactly. It's right outside the front door.
You were irked by this. Jesus.
So from 1976, Welcome to L.A. And we also got this other one that we just watched earlier today. John came over to do the recording. I guess it was like an hour or two ago. And so you came over early, and we had time to watch Disney's Prep and Landing, which they showed a preview for, which they showed like a mini trailer for before the Muppets screening last night. So we saw the Muppets projected digitally, and Disney has realized that with the digital projection, they don't have to attach film reel.
No, they can put commercials in.
So we got the fucking like ABC TV previews before the Muppets last night, and one of them was for a.
Not for that. It's for the sequel to that. I think.
Was it?
I think it was. Yeah.
For a sequel to this.
I don't know. I think that's something coming up on TV, and this is the original. But I could be. I'm not hip to my Prep and Landing.
I thought this was one of the same. Maybe I think you're right. You know what? I think you're right because this is new to DVD. It's Disney's Prep and Landing. No one does stealth like an elf. And this on the back it says Emmy Award winner, Outstanding Animated Program 2010. So I think you're right. I guess we saw the preview for the sequel to this.
Thank God there's a sequel.
Much to my surprise, this was produced by John Lasseter, Mr. Pixar, and scored by Michael Giacchino, Mr. Up and Lost, and is from the makers of the guys who did that short film on the Winnie the Pooh Blu-ray that we so dig. Yeah, Nessie. The
there's something we forgot to mention when we were talking about how much we like the Muppet movies. There's a Toy Story feature before the Muppet movie.
Holy shit. We did that whole episode. We didn't even... I didn't forget about it. The conversation just never came back to the fact that prior to the Muppets, there's a terrific Toy Story short about how Buzz is tricked by a Happy Meal version of Buzz. Like... duped, by this Happy Meal Buzz Lightyear to trade places with him. So Buzz is stuck in the like the Island of Lost Toys version. At a fast
Happy
food
Meal
place.
toys.
Yeah,
with a great Jane Lynch as a mermaid.
Yeah, so he's in this like Happy Meal. What do you call those groups again? I forget.
Like support group.
Support group. Happy Meal support group. It's hysterical.
Yeah,
hysterical. And then the Happy Meal Buzz goes back to the little girl's place. But what I think was really funny about that is when, because Jessie, the cowgirl, is having a thing with Buzz. So when Happy Meal Buzz shows up, about three quarters of the size of Buzz, she's like, what? Anyway, it was hysterical, and Toy Story scores again. I also think they included this. Disney included this Toy Story short on the Muppets thing because there's the idea out there that the Muppets were that Toy Story, that Pixar, that animated stuff was the new sort of children's entertainment and part of the not the death of the Muppets, but the slow petering off of their success was due in fact to the preference for these Pixar type films. So, what Muppets in Space and Elmo and Grouchland and those other movies made in total didn't even equal one weekend gross, hardly, of Toy Story. So, but now you've got this intermingling of Toy Story and the Muppets in theaters. There's another reason to go see the Muppets is that Toy Story short film. Terrific. John, what else you got?
Where were you in 1968? Where were you on January 9th?
1968. I was...
January 9th, 1968.
I was a 3-year-old in Short Hills, New Jersey.
Were you sitting in front of the TV?
Probably, yeah. I remember my earliest memories of watching a baseball game or some sort of space moon flight or something.
You weren't watching a young Robert Wagner take the screen as... what's his name in this thing? Alexander... Anyway, It Takes a Thief.
Well, I've heard of that.
The box set came out on DVD this week.
Oh, right. You were telling me about this.
So much fun. So much fun. He's like James Bond without the guns and Austin Powers without the humor. He's just a cool
Austin Powers without the humor.
Yeah. He's
By the way, Mike Myers has declined doing another Austin Powers movie, so that's not happening.
Robert Wagner could do it. No. He's in the Austin Powers movies, yeah. Anyway, it's he plays a professional thief who gets hired by the government, or the government gives him lets him out of jail so that he can commit crimes for them. And it's just all over the world. He's robbing from the bad guys to help the good guys. There's chicks, there's cool car chases, and Robert Wagner is just slick. So I'm having a blast watching it. It's 18 discs, so I haven't finished it all.
Jesus.
But it's a cool.
You will finish all 18 discs.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
But I watch a lot of them in a row so I can do the review, and then I'll piece them together one by one. And the box set comes with a cell from the original film, like a film cell, and for some reason
they're doing the Star Wars thing.
For some reason, drink coasters. It Takes a Thief drink
because
coasters.
Aren't they often turning to the wet bar? In conversation?
I don't know.
Fixing drinks?
I haven't got that far yet. Yeah, it's like,
just
cocktails, sir.
Actor props.
No. So I highly recommend it. But I got to warn you, it's a pricey set because it's 18 disc. It's like...
I'm guessing 159.
Yeah, something like that. They don't even have the price on that, so it's up there.
Man, I got a couple of discs here. One of them is Gabriel Iglesias presents Stand-Up Revolution. 2 disc set. Fluffy's back, and he brought his friends.
I have no idea.
No, I hadn't either, but this fella Fluffy is pretty damn funny. So it's a collection of his stand-up routines and him introducing other Mexican stand-ups.
Latino?
Funny guy. Yeah, Latino. And funny guy. I didn't get to watching the whole thing, just the first disc, but it was so new to me.
Right.
And he, as it turns out, was the funniest amongst the comedians. And it's like they're doing this bar show, with the live band and, in a bar. And I think it was a series on Comedy Central. I don't know if it's still on, but this DVD has just come out. And the guy's really funny.
Cool.
He talks about this. It's particularly funny, I thought, was this one story he tells about how their tour bus, with a giant image of him on the outside, was pulled over at the border or close to the border. And they had to have everyone on the tour bus, even the driver, everyone had to get out and put their hands up against the side of the bus, and they were frisked. And as they were driving by, as if he wasn't recognized by his, the police didn't recognize,
the face on the bus.
The face on the bus. Other people coming over, the border were yelling, "Fluffy!" And even one of the border guards was a fan, and they still were trying to catch him on something. Yes. The whole assumption that they were in the in the back of the bus smoking weed. I mean, they
right. It's like when they pull over Willie Nelson. Yeah, big surprise he's smoking.
Weed. It's so he's just like we're not that cool. We're just sort of doing our. It's anyway. Gabriel Iglesias, Stand Up Revolution, Fluffy's back, 2-disc set. Just came out. And I mentioned this before, but it's just come out this week, or I think it comes out this
22nd.
Tuesday. Super 8. And I have watched all of the special features on this disc and loved every minute of it. You might say, Steve, you've gotten yourself a disc that was given to you from Paramount. Of course you're going to like it. Of course, like what? That makes it easier to like or something like that?
Why would I
fucking
say that?
No, I fucking dig. People might think that, but what I'm saying, it's real.
Right, we're not whoring out for Paramount.
Right, if I actually get something that I didn't like, either I say very little about it or I don't talk about it,
There are stacks of shit people we don't talk about because they suck.
But Super 8 is definitely a plus. It had its moments in the movie that were just sort of routine, which are sort of, the monster and stuff like that. But the love that they fucking put into the making of this movie and the featurettes are... some of them are. You put them all together. It's basically a 2-hour feature on the making of the film.
Right.
Really detailed, cool stuff. And I, as a guy who was that age when this was happening, it really, I really connected with it. I can't recommend it highly enough. Super 8. And we'll be watching it again. I've watched all the I've watched all the special feature stuff, but I've only seen half of the features, so I've still got.
But you saw it in theaters, so
yeah,
I remember it being good
to see it again.
in theaters, and I look forward to seeing it again. And I'll watch some of the. I don't mind some extras. I hate commentary. I hate watching a movie with commentary. That to me,
this does have a J.J. Abrams commentary.
That's just annoying.
Yeah, it's not annoying.
It is.
It's great. What I found...
It's more... it's as annoying as those kids in the movie theater last night to have someone talking to me when I'm trying to watch a movie.
Well, that's the point of listening to the commentary, is that you're not watching the movie so much as you're really listening to the commentary.
That's why I don't do it.
So, there is an amusing moment or a strange moment in the extra features where Tom Cruise appears on the set. And I was like, was he just visiting Spielberg on the day? Or did he have a small part in the movie or a cameo or something that was cut out? He just all of a sudden appears on the set with the kids, and that was strange. The strange things that happen during special features.
The strange things that Tom Cruise does.
Yeah. Bad robot. John, what else you got?
There was a British show called Being Human. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yes.
Now it's been Americanized. And basically, a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost share an apartment in Boston. Although it's funny because you see, the only way it's in Boston is because they make a few references. They go to a bar on Com Ave or something, and there's an occasional shot of the Peru. But it's shot on a film set someplace. There's no Boston feeling to this. At least they don't try to do the accents, like in J. Edgar. But I thought it sounds like a setup for a joke: a vampire and a werewolf and a ghost share an apartment. But it's actually a pretty decent series. Good effects, nice amount of blood. The guy who's the werewolf is pretty annoying.
Is this like a Sci-Fi Channel thing?
I believe it is. I should be able to find out from that, but I can't. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, it is a sci-fi. It's got Sam Witwer from Smallville, Megan Rath from The Assistants, and Sam Huntington from Superman Returns.
Oh yeah. So, I saw some of this on demand. I wasn't totally into it, though.
I think it's one of those things where you need to watch it from the beginning because the first 3 or 4 episodes are all set up, of who they are and what they're doing. But after that, it finds its own little groove. It's fun. It's a fun series.
Man, I spent another couple of hours watching all of the special features on Disney's new 3D Blu-ray Meet the Robinsons. I know I talked about this before, but I had not watched all of the special features yet.
Right.
The guy who made this film, I forget his name. He was an adopted child himself, so the story is kind of resonant there. Of the 3D films that have come out in the past couple of years, this is the one that I thought was like really super entertaining, especially when they get into the future. But I just wanted to get the word out there that the 3D version of Meet the Robinsons has come out in the past couple of weeks, and it looks fucking amazing in 3D. This is like one of those films that Disney commissioned outside of Pixar to be done in 3D.
Right.
And, they did this with Bolt. And Bolt, it was all right, although I didn't dig John Travolta in the role. I found John Travolta kind of... You didn't like the... Yes. But The extra feature stuff on the Meet the Robinsons Blu-ray is actually, really good. The filmmaker put a lot of effort into it, which I appreciate, and the audio commentary and the stories and stuff. It's really good. I know I'm over pushing this, but I fucking loved this movie.
Right.
When it gets into the to the scenes with Adam West and the Meet the Robinsons clan, man, it's good. And the dinosaur in 3D was pretty damn good too. So.
Cool.
John, what else you got?
The Wave. Did you see this when it was in theaters?
No, I don't.
Never
heard of it.
It's an amazing movie. It's a German movie directed by Dennis Gansel, who did We Are the Night, which is a cool movie. Anyway, it's a high school teacher who, he's sick of the way his students are so lethargic about everything, so he kind of comes up with an experiment and has them set up a totalitarian regime in the classroom because the kids are like, Nazi Germany could never happen again. We're sick of hearing about it. That's not our generation. So he sets up this experiment where the kids start a Nazi state. They gradually become Nazis as they get more and more into this school experiment. Violence breaks out. The teacher gets freaked out. It's a pretty intense look at how totalitarian governments take over. It's set in a classroom in German. So it's not only it's a foreign movie with subtitles, and I enjoyed it a lot.
That goes up in the 10 percentile.
Yeah, I think there's. I think there's only 10 movies there. So,
man, I got this film from Lionsgate called Needle. Your fate has been chosen. So says the tagline, and I don't know. I'm.
Did it scare you? Are
well,
you afraid?
it's no, it didn't scare me, but it's an Australian horror film. The way it was, it's actually when I say the film is quality. It does have high production value, but the effects were so chintzy, and the story was just so. I don't know. It's out there, and I want to say it's kind of neat. It might be some kind of like trashy good stuff to watch if you're looking for something to rent, but I can't. But I'm not super excited about it.
The picture on the cover makes me want to see it because they show a face with needles in it.
Yeah,
so.
it's kind of Hellraiser-esque. In the sense that it's this relic that this college kid's father who passed away is the one thing that this kid has been given from his father after he had asked to have all of his father's belongings just sold is this box that it's like a voodoo box.
Right.
It's like the box basically when opened and used is like an instrument of vengeance. And it can kill somebody, I don't know, like very far away, I suppose. You can basically just, like, whoever you want to do away with, you just, the box, it's like the box of death.
It kills them with needles?
Yes, but in this movie, unfortunately, it does it in such a way that it's so damn fake that it's almost laughable.
See, now I probably would
it's just like an amusing, film. Anyway, Needle. It just came out on Lionsgate, and it's one of those like low budget horror titles that Lionsgate specializes in.
Right.
So you can see why they would handle this kind of a title.
So I finally break through to Lionsgate. What did they send me? Did they send me Needle? No. Did they send me any of the cool horror stuff you get? No.
Did you get Boy Toy?
What?
Boy Toy?
What is that?
It's some comedy.
I hope it's a comedy.
It's newly released. I haven't watched it yet.
Really?
But, yeah.
No, I got The Littlest Angel. I got a horribly animated Christian movie called The Littlest Angel with Ron Perlman as the voice of God.
Ron Perlman?
Yeah, as the voice of God.
Wow.
You didn't even get that, did you?
I specialize in the horror.
Yeah, so do I. But, maybe that's it. Maybe they saw some of my other reviews and said, well, we better send him the Christian disc. He needs it.
Well, there's some other stuff from MGM that I'm looking forward to watching this week. There's Incident in an Alley, based on a story by Rod Serling from 1962 that has just come out. So very much looking forward to that. Ghost Warrior. I don't know if you remember this movie from the 80s, but it was like, do you remember like Full Moon Entertainment? Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Remember like New Moon Entertainment? Like Charles Band, he did like Puppet Master movies and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this has just come out, Ghost Warrior.
On that list that
I don't remember I don't think I've actually seen it, so
that whatever month that was that MGM sent us that list, they had 4 samurai movies and I requested each one.
The other one I got is Roger Corman's Devil's Angels with John Cassavetes and Mimsy Farmer. very much looking forward to seeing that.
It's a
Was the
great-
name
It's a
Mimsy
great
amusing to
cover.
you?
No, I was looking at the cover of the disc. It was like, that's pretty.
I just
classic.
saw this. Oh, you're looking at Ghost Warrior.
No. When you held up that
Oh,
one
here.
for that,
Devil's
that's
Angels.
just a classic. Roger Corman.
Yeah, there was
cover.
a series. I guess this was in prior to Easy Rider,
Right.
prior to when there was
Biker
a series of that
movies.
type, biker movie kind of thing. And man, I just saw this film last night on TCM. Saw like a half hour of it. It was John Cassavetes and Sidney Poitier doing
Poitier.
Yeah.
Poitier.
Where he kills this warehouse worker while John Cassavetes, who plays a character by the name of Axel
Rose?
something
Foley?
like that. Yeah, it was the early Axel name. Anyway, I was riveted, and I can't even remember the title. It was on TCM last night and I was really impressed with Cassavetes' acting. It was from 1957, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So gonna have to look that one up again.
That's a little
Rehash it.
teaser for the audience.
Yeah, gonna have to research that one. Man, I think we're good.
Oh, we're better than good.
How's your back?
Fine.
Good.
Just stretching.
You can listen to all of our episodes online. We're at post-movie.net, and we're on Facebook. If you can like us on Facebook or leave us a message there, we'll get back to you. Any activity there is cool. It's always good to see the Facebook number go up.
Even by one.
Yeah, even by one. And we're on iTunes, so if you can subscribe and download our episodes there and leave us a review, that would be awesome. And also, if you want to comment on anything we've said,
Because my ride.
they're coming for
It's
you,
the
John.
thought police.
Or disagree with anything we've said, or just, I don't know. Just email
wanna
and
talk
say
dirty
hi,
to me.
man. Yeah. Send us an email at
Yeah.
contact@post-movie.net. Until next week, I'm Steve Head.
I'm John Black.
So long, everybody.